All right, welcome to day 5 of creating an automation business. I kind of got started into this and then realized, a few minutes into this, that I need to start recording. And sometimes that happens where I just kind of get into this headspace where I just want to get to work, but again, have to remind myself that to record progress along the way. And I encourage you to do that as well. If you're starting your journey, record, document this process. One, you'll look back at this moment and it'll feel much better once you actually get everything done and you get to see the progress along the way. But you never know who's going to help. It is very difficult to stay consistent with recording, so that's why sometimes I kind of fall off myself. And I'm pretty sure you might do the same thing from time to time. But as long as you're still consistently going at it, there may be days where, like for me, last time I recorded, I had to play catch up on stuff that I already did, so it's a little bit different. So today, I'll catch up for the first few minutes, and then I'll just actively work as I'm doing it, and then that way you get to see it live. So hopefully, this is a little bit better video to follow along with than last time. So what I did so far was I went into ChatGPT and I went to explore GPTs. I typed in the letters KPI, and then came to this one, this KPI GPT. Let me go to the top. So I basically typed this in. You can type in the exact same thing or copy and paste it. Create a description, manual, or a perfect way to give exact instructions on what it is that you do, what you were designed for, your capabilities, and any other relevant information that you can think of is how you can function. Think about what a good way to explain yourself, elaborate on that, then and only then provide me your final response. So it said, cool, boom. And it started giving me an intro, what it does, how it works, capabilities, pitfalls, practices, getting started, yada yada yada. So I said, perfect. With that in mind, add anything else that you can think of that might be or would be interesting or helpful to train an AI bot. Create an updated way to explain everything, but your attention should be as if you are telling this to a bot so that it can mimic you. So that's when all of this happened. And again, it gave me the intro, purpose, functionality, core functions, conversational processes, capabilities, common pitfalls, such and so forth, down to training steps. So what I did was I copy and pasted everything down to right here where it says useful. I went over to here, yep, over here. Well, not this one. This one, my knowledge based GPT. So again, just to reiterate, I took everything from my process here, my offer, my guarantee, objections, and again, I created this using $100 million offers. So follow that book, and then document everything here. So I have my first problem, and then I made it. I renamed it, gave it the sexy name, put all that stuff here, and I was just kind of asking it for, in the book, I think he was talking about, do you want to provide one-on-one support, one to many, or such and so forth. So I just created solutions for all of that, and put that into here. And then we got our bonus for our clients, 3-week bonus implementation guide, my guarantee, and some headers for. I didn't add the headline in there, but my capability statement, which I created using ChatGPT as well. I think I probably went into the same GPT to create a capability statement, but you don't need this. Uh, Describe it. You do need this. This is good because for me, I plan on doing something like government contracting, but my internal audit process. This one I'd have to kind of walk you through how to do this. So again, hit the like button, subscribe to this if this is bringing you any value, and then follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Shoot me a DM on there, and then also join my Skool community where I'll probably start uploading this stuff as content. Sometime, I don't know when, but I'll probably do that. But this is my audit process, and as you can see, it's pretty robust. Um, I got my SOPs and my 8-week sprint. So everything up to the SOPs, I went ahead. Got to back up a little bit. Everything up to the SOPs, I copied, put that into my knowledge base GPT, when I basically just said, this is what I want. As you can see, there it is. So you're the ultimate hub of knowledge for this. Your primary goal is understand process procedures, FAQs, and that in an effort to help better the process, create efficiencies, and discuss if certain projects are feasible for what we offer while answering any questions we may ask you about my business optimize. Here's your current knowledge base. And then boom, I just pasted everything in there. So coming back over here, uh, I started here. We're training a KPI GPT whose goal is to help us create a list of KPIs to track within the business. I will ask you the questions it is asking me during this training phase, provide me responses based on what you know about my business to the best of your ability. So boom, I'm ready. Let's go. And then coming back here, over here, oh wait, one second. Sorry. Right here to my KPI GPT, right? And I just again copied everything, the introduction, everything that came from this chat GPT response, boom, pasted it right in there. So let's start with narrowing down our potential list of KPIs. I typed this question out. Ask me your questions when you're ready. I said, great, let's begin. So I copy this and then paste it in here. So great, let's begin. Boom, paste it right there. So now we're going to take this response. Oh, wait. So I had a conversation and with my tax strategist and also a small business development specialist. Those services are offered for free. If you're interested in those, go ahead and shoot me a message, and I'll point you in the right direction to the contact that I have. But it is all about helping you get your business down pat, from things like business plans to how to structure projections and everything it is that to start a legitimate business. Because I know that you watching this video, you want to take this very, very seriously. This is not something that is just a side hustle. This is something that can actually be a legitimate business. And especially as of right now, today is August 3rd, 2024. Like right now, we're in the infancies of AI and stuff like that. Even though AI has been around since I think the 70s or 80s. But for really becoming commercialized and being used in this way, in addition to make.com and go high level, this is a very viable business because a lot of businesses aren't automated. The more that they do, unfortunately, people will lose jobs. But there is a shift that I think that will happen. Jobs just shift, just like in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like you had very big manufacturing jobs in the car market. Those jobs went away, but they just shifted to something else. Now there are cities that are decimated, but at the end of the day, people are going to adjust. New jobs are going to pop up. You're going to have to be qualified, and if you want to make it, then you're going to get qualified for those jobs. So it's not something that we can stop, which is progress and automating people's businesses. But they're ultimately what we're doing is providing a better customer experience and client satisfaction. If you can get the same result every time or a better result every time, then that's even more better for everybody. So, anyways, my main focus was retirement planning. But after talking to the specialist, she was just like, "Look, I was in that field. I know that field, have certifications in that field, and I came from that field in banking. I'm telling you right now that that's an uphill battle because of all the red tape and finance stuff and the approvals that you have to get." She's like, "Your time's better spent somewhere else where you don't have to fight so hard uphill." I was like, "I appreciate that, and I'm going to adjust." So we ultimately came up with a new list, and this is my personal list of people that I can get in touch with very easily. This is like I have a competitive advantage in this because I know event planners. Ironically, I came across somebody who gave me a book of all the event planners in the area, so I can reach out to them very easily, or have my sales team reach out to them. Business consultants, I come across them all the time, and they are people who are very high up that have other connections. And when they see what we have to offer, and which eventually what you'll have to offer, They're like, I desperately need this because this is the biggest headache that I have, which is keeping up with leads and tracking everything and KPIs and this and that. It's a lot. Estate attorneys is the only one where I don't have a competitive advantage in, but I can I have ways to get into that. And that's really just a matter of if that's something that you're interested in, if it's any field, it's just a matter of going to meetups. Like literally just meetup.com, Eventbrite, and just going to those events, seeing what people are talking about, and then just actually going up and shaking some hands. The way that I do it, I used to ask them like, is this your first time? Easy, just an easy opener. If you just ask somebody, is this your first time? They say yes or no. Okay, cool. If it is, mine too. So now we're on common basis. This is my thought process, or this is what I think of it. Like, what do you think about this? You just ask open-ended questions. If it's not their first time, well, what got you started? When did you first started coming? Like something like that. So, anyways, so business funding consultants is another one that I have a lot of connects to, where they charge a percentage of whatever they get you. So let's say that you go to them for business funding, and they say, "All right, cool. We'll get you, once your credit is right, we'll either get your credit right, or we just go straight for it." And where they get you like business credit cards and lines of credit, trade lines, things of that nature. And let's say that they get you $50,000, they might charge you anywhere from like 5 to 20%, typically around 10%. But when you think about it that way, one client at let's say $50,000, and if they're working with people and qualifying people, and in our process, we're going to help them qualify people even faster and better. Once somebody has like a 680 to a 700 credit score, getting $50,000 in business credit is very easy. So one client can be worth 50,000 or $5,000 their fee. So $5,000 and our fee is $2,000 a month. If we can help them get one extra client, that then pays for the entire subscription. So I tell it actually I'm changing my target niche to event planners, business consultants, estate attorneys, and business funding consultants, because all these people can afford that price tag of $2,000 a month, because one client can be worth that for them. Thank you for providing updated information about the target niche, which now includes this. With this new target in mind, goals, objectives may need to be adjusted to better cater to the specific needs and requirements of these professionals. Here are revised goals, objectives on the updated target niche. So we'll copy this. Boom. We'll go back over to our KPI GPT. Paste that in here. Oops. Let's try it again. See? Copy. Paste. There we go. We hit run. As you can see, our tokens start going up, and you do get charged for tokens. All right, let's see what this is asking. Thank you for providing detailed insights to your startup's goals and objectives. Based on the revised information, I'll now proceed to ask you targeted questions to narrow down the potential list of KPIs that align with your objectives. So, without even reading this, we're going to go here, copy that, and now they're having a conversation between one another. There. Run that. Now, I'm going to go through and just kind of skim it just to see what's kind of asking. Are you looking to track the efficiency of your tailored automation solutions? Obviously. How important is it for you to measure the time taken for professionals on board and start using automation tools? Do you have specific KPIs in mind to track? A lot of these things that it should be able to answer. Will you be measuring the compliance levels of your automation solutions? How do you plan to measure optimization of internal workflows? Specific metrics related to client satisfaction. Yeah, so this would take like about a good hour for you to go through all these questions and really think and create a list of it exactly what it is that you want done. So that's why I want to hand it off to here, my knowledge base GPT, because its job is to perfectly explain your business. And if the responses that it's giving don't do that, well, now we know something's off and we got to kind of tweak it a little bit. Customized automation tracking the efficiency of tailored automation solution will be crucial in meeting that. Metrics such as adoption rates, time saved per process, and feedback on system customization could be valuable KPIs. To measure time taken for them to onboard. KPIs should include onboarding completion rates, time to full, system utilization, and client feedback on the onboarding process. Good. Industries like estate planning, business funding that handle sensitive information. KPIs for data security. Okay, these are good. Ensuring compliance with industry requirements through automation imperative. KPIs measure compliance levels for data protection laws. Okay. So the reason that you want to kind of go through these again is like one by one, at least skimming it, is to make sure that it's on track to where you want to go. You don't It doesn't need to be exact, because you can always tweak it over time, but you don't want it throwing out a crazy answer and you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I really want to do. Utilization rates, task completion, cycle times for okay, prioritizing, consultant is crucial. Metrics like net promoter score, customer retention rate, client feedback scores, and provide insights. Tracking revenue is good. Financial revenue per client, average deal size, revenue, customer lifetime value. This is a good one right here. This is what's also talked about in $100 million offers. Return on investment is also a real estate term, but or financing term, an investment term that you see a lot in real estate. So, brand recognition metrics, website traffic, marketing efforts, social media engagement, and lead generation. Those are good. We want to know where our leads are coming from. KPIs such as new feature adoption rates, client feedback, incorporation rates, time to market for new features. Yeah. And the reason I'm getting these responses is because of my my internal audit process. So again, if you haven't heard in other videos, basically my day job is auditing or assessing um, companies who have federal data on their systems. So it's pretty much at the highest level that you can go, and yeah, it is the highest level that you can go. Now there's like DoD stuff where it's like Department of Defense where it's more sensitive information that's going through, and also like financial or like crime stuff. But for the most part, it's like you're up there for what it is that I do, and so yeah, so I basically created a process that is similar for my business. Um, so let's take all of this here, copy that, boom, paste that in there. So this is a list of KPIs that we should be tracking. So thank you for providing detailed insights into your specific KPIs along with your startup goals, objectives. Based on the information you shared, here's a refined list of potential KPIs to your business focus areas. So what is it that we want to do? Okay, the list is great. For each one, can you explain what should be tracked specifically? Is it something numerical or descriptive? Excuse me. Generate a new list that has this explanation in it. So it is something I can put into a Google spreadsheet to be tracked. All right, let's see what popped out. All right, here's the explanation. Certainly, I provided a detailed explanation for each KPI, specifying whether it should be tracked numerically or descriptively. Here's a refined list. Okay. Adoption rate. numerical percentage of users or clients who have adopted and actively used the tailored automation solutions, average time saved in minutes or hours. This one is qualitative. So we'll need to create a form based on this. Onboarding completion rate, percentage of clients who have successfully completed the onboarding process within a set time frame. So as I'm reading this, my thought process on how we're going to get this into a Google spreadsheet is um, kind of similar to how I set up the objection references in parsing. So let's try to do that. Let's go over to make.com, back out of this one, save. I don't know, we just changed, but let's create a new scenario. We're going to, wait a minute, actually, kind of want to try something else. So right now, I'm just trying to decide where this is pulling from, because when I looked at make.com, it says, okay, well, what's the trigger? So, okay, perfect. Now, think about where we should be pulling this information from. Be using make.com that requires a trigger. What your thoughts? A way to start tracking. All right, so what are your thoughts on a way to start tracking these metrics in an automated way so that the trigger will begin pulling the information to update the spreadsheet? So basically, what's going to pop it off? All right, so to automate the tracking of the KPIs and pull into a spreadsheet using make.com, you consider setting up automated data connections and integration tools with platforms. Use analytic tools with the customized automation solution to automatically track adoption rates, time save. Ooh. So this one's tough because what I think will need to happen is we'll have to use something what's called a scorecard. And I got that from the book called Traction by Gino Wickman. And there are weekly, monthly, and quarterly KPIs that are tracked. So what I'm thinking is that we'll have weekly meetings to identify this stuff. Okay. For each KPI you came up with, think of a way to explain Actually, before we do that, let's copy this. Here, copy. Okay, here. Let's do this. Let's put this in quotation marks. so I can start talking to it after. And what we will want to do is we will want to, based on the book traction, Wickman uses a scorecard to track metrics. You create a sample scorecard with the above KPIs. So first, I want to make it make sense. Oh man. All right, so can you put that into a table format so it's easier to read? I don't know what this is showing. All right, I have a different way of doing this. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go back over here. Just find a random. I wonder if DocMaker could do it. Can you put this scorecard information we use to track KPIs into a table format? Quotations, paste, quotations, enter. There we go. That's more presentable. Now actually let's go back. Okay, going back to your list KPIs, can you relist them with the frequency of how often we should be tracking them? Options are weekly, monthly, quarterly. I don't want to track anything yearly because we'll get that picture anyways once we add everything up. Right. Not sure what just happened there. All right, so copy this. Perfect. Can you update that with this in mind? Quotation, paste quotation. Let's see what it pops out. All right, so we have our KPI category, KPI name, measurement, frequency, target, current status, current and status. So what we're going to do is then put all of this into a spreadsheet. And let me pull that up one sec. All right, so created a new doc, a new sheet, so optimize KPIs. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, and I'll start it, and then I'll kind of just like come back when I finish because I'm not. This is just live. This is one take. It's not. There's no editing that I'll be doing, so I'm not going to fast forward this. So I'll just come back when everything's done. But let's grab here. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna just try it and see what happens. Copy and paste. That worked out a lot better. I didn't think that was going to work. All right, so at least we know everything. So let's try to make this a little bit better, a little more prettier. Cool, cool, cool. A little uglier. There we go. Spread that thing out. Okay. So now we got our KPIs. So now we can come back here to my flow. We'll come over here. Also, just to keep track of where we're at. We're in day 7 right now, setting up analytics infrastructure for data-driven decision making. Keep in mind, this is not the actual 7th day since I've started this. As you can see, 7:15 is when I started, and today's the 3rd. Life happens. I still have to like figure things out, and I have to beta test some stuff, and it's not always going to be perfect. So as long as you're consistent, that's what's most important. All right, so right here I have metrics included in there, which is now we have the metrics. All of that gets funneled in through here. So what I want to do is start having form submissions and surveys that then line all this stuff up to be tracked into the metrics. So what we can do, just thinking out loud, is have a form that when people go to our website, they put in their name, phone number, email, and then it redirects them to another section, which then will start asking them the questions. Based on that, it should be able to recommend services to us, and we'll put that in our notes section for the client. That was genius. All right. So just so I don't forget, because I'll be doing 10,000 things at once, and I just forget, and I'm like, oh fuck. So form submission. Wait, not that one. Yeah, actually, form submission based on metrics. And we want that to lead to feeds to KPIs. Oh, wait. Form submission based on metrics. Responses will go into notes section. Into another GPT. Actually, I wonder. Go into knowledge GPT. Recommendation of services and price points. Once we get that, what do we want? So we want the form submission based on the metrics. Those responses will go into that. notes, recommendation to updating contact for sales call. Okay. I think that's good because that gives them our salespeople insight into what they should aim for price wise, and three, 2 to 3. So I want to give my salespeople a range because if they can sell the services at a different rate, um, because not all businesses are going to be the same. It's not. This is not a cookie cutter system. This is something where we're building out something that's custom tailored to each individual specific person. So there may be different price points um, for services. Now the setup might be easier versus one versus the other, but again, it all depends on their budget. So you never know exactly what a company is willing to spend to get this service. So I'm not saying to go out here and go to every business like $5,000 a month to do this, right? Because there's some you might come across a mom and pop business where they're just like, look, we're drowning, we need something bad. Um, we want to do something, but understand that we're not here to like tell you that we have the most money, and that's fine. Like that's your decision on as to whether or not you want to work with that team, that company. This is business, so the point of business is to make profit. So if we can continuously grow our profit, that's what's most important for the business. um, if you don't want to grow your business and profit, then, I mean, start a nonprofit, and you can kind of go about it from there. But for this sake, we're trying to, if we can sell a service at $2,000 a month, great. But if my salespeople are getting told that, hey, for this service we can offer this, this, and this, and the normal rate is $2,000, but for them we could try to push uh $5,000 a month, let's do it. Because that company might say, oh man, that's cheap. I thought it was going to be way more. And if you shoot yourself in the foot by you sticking at one price, well, you shot yourself in the foot. So, granted, we still want to stay relatively within the same price point. So that's what I'm saying, 2 to 3 price point options. So we'll probably have a high, medium, and low. If they're saying that the price is too high, what will happen is um, we're letting the GPT starting to make the decision about what our price points are going to be. Why? Because we're going to have the scripts, right? We have one GPT for the script maker, which is going to analyze all of the conversations. And if in the conversations they are talking about providing service, or like my sales team is providing services, and your sales team is providing services, and they're like, the sales team then says, all right, we have one price point at $8,000, and then we have one price point at $3,000, and they're like, oh man, that's too high. Well, that will then feed into our knowledge based GPT with these KPIs, right? Because all the revenue growth and client satisfaction, retention, operational, right? All these things that we're tracking start getting updated when we do our weekly, monthly, and quarterly reviews of these KPIs, and we'll also we already have this other sheet that is tracking our top 5 biggest objections. If price point starts creeping up, now that's going to start telling the knowledge based GPT, hey, start lowering these prices down a little bit, or let's figure out how we make it more worthy of that price point rather than lowering it. So now the knowledge based GPT is going to start talking to the script writer GPT or the sales closer GPT, and they're going to start talking eventually to start saying, hey, something's askew here, and we need to start figuring out this algorithm of how do we make a price point that makes sense to the value of what we're offering and start making it go that way. So that's my thought process on that. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go back here. Okay, perfect. Obviously, some of these are going to be proactive, and some of these metrics will be reactive. I want to create a form that has yes, no style questions that will lead to us having better understanding their business, their wants, and current situation. These questions should also feed into our KPIs. And I just want to put some parameters. I just wanted to make sure that I'm really clear on what it is that I want, because if you're not, then it's just going to take its best guess. So essentially, customer journey will look like this. Customer sees our ad or direct response marketing. We'll go to our funnel, submit their name, email, and phone number, then be redirected to our form survey. I want to say, which one is it? Let's move myself out the way. Come here, we're going to marketing. Now marketing sites. And let's go to survey builder first. That's trash. Not even. That one was trash. Terrible example. Okay. What I'm looking for is to see the one where it's like, yeah, it's this one, survey. Okay, so in a form is just like everything's all there, one name, email, phone number, submit button. That's it. Survey is, do you want to automate your business? Yes, no. No? Okay, next question. Or yes, and then next question. So you only see one question at a time. So we are creating a survey. All right, so we will go back here. Get that up out of there. Survey. Some of these metrics. I want to create a survey. Okay. That has yes, no style questions that will lead to us having a better understanding of their business, their wants, and current situation. These questions should also feed into our KPIs. So essentially, customer journey will look like this. Customer sees our ad, direct response marketing. We'll go to our funnel, submit their name, email, and phone number, then be redirected to our survey. Once they fill out the survey, their responses will be added to their notes, which our sales team can use to further understand pain points and how we can address them to provide a service offering. Then, based on those that we close, we will be able to update the metrics, their scheduled frequency. I don't know how else to word that. It sounds like I'm back in my job, but that is the only way I can think about it. Um, okay, that's good. Can you be a straight list of 20 to 25 questions? To 35 questions that align with that and also help disqualify leads so that we are only working out scheduling qualified leads. All right, so now these questions are what's going to feed into um, our selling points. So when they answer these questions, and it's going to take some time, but when we're doing the work up front, so that way it gets better over time. And so um, as we start getting the responses to these questions, it'll again go into the script, our sales closer GPT, to analyze, pain points and objections and reasons as to why somebody would not want to move forward with our service. But we already have a cheat code. The cheat code is this: that, like, let's talk about these things in this list, right? Are you currently using any automation tools? And they'll say yes or no. And so that allows us to then have talking points, or your sales team to have talking points. So now you can say, well, you said that you have some automation tools. What does that look like? Or you don't have automation tools. What are you looking for? Boom, we got that. That's one part. That then feeds into the sales closer GPT, who's analyzing that into all those questions and putting that into our script, right? So let's go back to make.com. So where are we at? Here. So we're talking. We have our talking points from the surveys. We're then talking, and the sales our sales closers are having a conversation. That then goes into here to update the Google scripts, the Google Doc, and it's parsing the information out, right? So now we're finding information that we need to find to create a better script. So we're going to update our working scripts and update our overall sales page. And then through that, we're still finding our top 5 biggest objections, and that's getting updated into our Google Sheets. So now we can understand what our top 5 biggest objections are, feed that into wherever else that we need to, or kind of just say, talk to our agent GPT, our sales closer GPT, and say, hey, here's our top 5 biggest objections for this month. Can you adjust the script for that? And then have our sales team talk about that and their sales pitch for the next month, so we can track that. Um, so as we're also getting the responses to like, hey, do you have? Let me go back here. Or not that one. Yeah. Do you find your current workflows to be efficient and optimized? If they say no, well, what do you want it to look like? Um, and once we get an idea of what we want it to look like, that comes up here in this line, right? And this is going to start figuring out what's the best process to start creating SOPs of how we can start building out that tailored solution to then create a task and hand it off to our virtual assistant to then go and set up all the automations that we need. So this is how we are going to create an automated business. Why? Because we have forms that lead to yes no, or that are yes no questions that allow us to then ask open-ended questions to get them to open up and answer whether or not they really are a good fit. That feeds into here that allows us to get our biggest objections, and creating a better script, right? For the next time that we close. We're then able to feed all of that information and start looking at it from a macro level on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis to then identify what's working, what's not working. We'll talk to our GPT, our KPI GPT, and say, hey, here's what we got going on, or our knowledge based GPT is like, here's what we have going on. You know, how do we make this more efficient and more better? And now we start having conversations amongst the team, or if it's just you, now you can just start having like conversations or ideas like, okay, well, if this KPI is down, then let's do these steps to fix it, right? And if you do that on a weekly basis, you now have something weekly that you can start trying to do. So going back to traction, you have like you have different things, and it's just like you have your rocks and you have this and that um going on, which is basically like, what are your priorities for the next 90 days, what are your priorities for the next 60, 30, and then weekly. So you can really start building that out with this, what we have going on. So next step is to take this list of questions into here, into this survey, and embed that into the website. So I'll do that. Qualifying survey. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Let's start fresh. Let's create a new one. Start from scratch. Okay. So we will have to add custom fields for every one of them. And I already have some questions here in the general info and additional info. So I'll keep them. I thought I was going to delete them, but I probably won't. So I'll just keep them. But what we'll do is we'll go to here, add. We'll do where is, yeah, we can do radio select. Radio is just buttons, which means it's easier for people to pick. Because I don't want people having to type stuff in. I just want you to click, 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 click. It's easy to click. People click all day. So field name is the question. Copy that. Go back here. Put that there. This is going to be, let's just do it in general info. One is yes. One is no. Um, I gotta double check if that's actually what I want. Let me see. Um, let's go to opportunities. No, that's not what I want. So I want it in the contact actually. Oops. So I will have to go here, custom fields, paste that back in there. Or not. There we go. Let's go in here and delete that. All right, so now we can go back here. Let's refresh this. Let's do custom field again. Keep it at contact. We're going to do radio select. We're going to paste this back in there. Keep it at contact. We're going to do general info. Just kidding. Additional info. Option 1, yes. Option 2, no. Okay. So now we're going to wait. There it is. And we're going to drag that there. Next question. So you just do this for every question, and I'll come back once I'm done. All right. So as I start wrapping up these last questions, I had one more question that I had pop into my head. That one's going to be not a yes/no question. It's going to be more of an open question, so that way we get an idea of exactly what they're already using. So again, all of these are going to be talking points uh, for our sales closers, so that in the event that when they get to the call, they have some kind of talking points on top of the script that they're already provided. Whoops, not that. We want multi-line. That's not bad. I like that. Oh wait. Okay. So let's try this. And let's try this. Website. Copy that. Do that 5 times. 5. Yep. And I don't know if that'll work, but let's see. Okay. This should work. Want to see value. Wait. Oops. save that. That didn't really change anything, but look, I thought it would. Let's change this name to qualifying survey. Save that again. We'll go back here. And then we will go to our site. We'll make sure we go to the funnel. We're going to go to optimize funnel. We're going to add a new step. We're going to call this one survey. Path is going to be survey. Yeah, we just do survey. Nobody really cares about that part. Well, actually, what we want to do, get rid of that. Delete. So we don't have to do everything from scratch. We're going to go to the welcome page. We're going to, whoops. Where is clone? We're going to keep it here. We're going to keep it there and add to the step. We're going to rename this one. We're going to call this survey. And backspace that, survey. Update that step. Back to overview, we're going to edit in a new tab. All right, so now we can get rid of this. We're going to add in a survey. We're going to do qualifying survey. We're going to, I don't even know, because I don't really want my picture there. So actually, what we can do, get rid of this. Let's go to layers, page. Let's delete this section. Okay, so that was the top section. Now we're going to add a section, full width. It's not where I wanted it. Just back that. All right, let's try that again. Delete, yes. Add, drag and drop. We're going to add in a row, one column. We're going to add in our survey and qualifying survey. Okay, and oops, we're going to save that. So now what should happen is that we want to go to the next step. Oops, go to our thank you page. Well, just trying to think about where I would want them to go. Because we have a thank you page after they book, but they haven't booked just yet. They're just filling out the survey. So we just want a regular survey thank you page. So let's go back over. Let's duplicate this one. Let's go back to the survey and see what happens when they submit that. Where are these settings? I don't really care about that, but I'm not sure. I'll check into that one. For now, we'll just use action from survey builder. One sec. I thought that would work. Just trying to see if the submit button would just lead to that. But I'll double check that and see where it goes, or what the action is, because I don't see that as of right now. But that's okay. So now we have that. We want to go to publish that. Come to our welcome page. Publish this. So that way it can go. Let me open this up. So this link is the one we want to change. So we are going to grab this link for the survey. Copy that. And that should go there. Okay, save. And let's see if that works. So in theory, what should happen is we get to our email. Someone puts in their email, they put in their business name. So opt test, and we'll do Alex test. We'll hit next. Phone number. Let's just do it. Hold on a sec. What is my phone number? Here, phone numbers. Copy this. Please don't blow my phone number up. Trying to mess with my bot. Cool, got that. Submit. So it should, in theory, perfect. So now people can answer these questions here. Let's go to the welcome page. Why is it still not showing? Let's publish this. This is weird. Oh, duh. All right, so now we go to the survey. Let's just add in a section here. Let's add in a row, one column, H1 headline. We want our bold text to be white. Please, where is, there we go. Take survey. Rather than doing hard work of thinking. Okay, great. Can you give me a one-line headline to use the title for this survey that we can put on our site? seems a little long, but I like direction. Might be getting sick. Yeah, it's not bad. What I'll be doing is probably um, hiring somebody to make it look pretty. I'm not the best person to make things look pretty. I'm good at making things work and figuring out how to make them better. I'm not good at actually making things look pretty. So let's do that. Let's publish that. Is there a way to show the progress bar? Because I don't want people looking at this and be like, God damn, when is the end? Um, I thought there was. I guess not. Again, if this is useful for you, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. As you can see, I am doing this live. So give me one sec. Let me see if I can go find it. All right, so just doing some digging and finally figured it out. So what you do is you go into the form, you go into right here, styles and options, and it'll look like this. You go into footer, you'll come down just a little bit. Yep, just a little bit, and we're going to. Oh, why can't we enable that? All right, well, about time to go back on pause, figure out why I can't do it. All right, after some back and forth, it looks like it's about to rain. Some back and forth with support. I was finally able to figure it out. So you have to go to stick to page, and then that will allow you to enable the progress bar. And so I want the percentage. Got that. I wonder if let's change it to there. I kind of want this one to be that color. Oh wait, that's the button text. What does that look like? Nothing. All right. Border is the one we were after. Nope, just kidding. Do that. I don't know where. I guess it'll just stay blue. That's fine. Because everything else is fine. So we got the progress bar, and I think that was it. Oh, the submit button. So here's what happens when it goes to the submit. Um, so now let's check the automation. And this is the one appointment setting bot. So after they submit that, they should get a text message. Anytime complete survey, you should have received a link text to book your discovery call. No, that's fine. So we got that. So we're going to save that. So now let's go back here. Let's refresh this. And we got our progress bar, which is a little, let's turn that font. Let's do the font color as black, or no, we want that one that color, and we want think the button. All right, let's try that. Beta test. There we go. So now we got that. Um, so I might change it. I don't know. Again, my job is not to make it pretty. My job is to get it at least 80% of the way there so we know function wise, like what it is that we're trying to aim for. And we can have somebody else come in and make it pretty. So, all in all, this was a little bit longer video, but at least we now have our KPIs to set up so that way we can start tracking things. And those are embedded into our survey. I already had another service, so this is the one that I'll be using moving forward now that it's more up to date. So again, the whole purpose of this is to tweak and make it better over time. It's not going to be perfect to start out, but at least you're making the progress that you need to make. So super proud of you making it this far. Thank you so much. Hit the like button if this was valuable to you. Subscribe if you want to follow along, and then also don't forget to join my school. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok.